Well, how's it going, everybody, and welcome back to Project Time Tech. Today on the bench we have a yard sale find, Dewalt inspection scope or borescope. This is something my dad picked up at a garage sale for like a couple bucks, and the complaint is that it doesn't work and the camera doesn't charge. So let's unbox this thing, see if we can fix it. Yes, the first thing to do is plug in some power and see what we get here. There's our LED. We have nothing. So is our charger even working? Let's figure that out. Assume this thing is DC, right? And these terminals are bigger, so would this be our charge terminals? 4.9 on those, and 3 millivolts on those. So is that enough to do anything? I would think that would be higher. Maybe what it's doing, maybe it's sensing the voltage from the battery before it starts charging. Maybe that's what's going on. What about our battery? Do we have anything that with it? I thought it was the outside pins that were not much millivolts. Millivolts. What if we just do this and power it on? Well, it actually comes on. See manual for troubleshooting. Okay. Well, that's weird. The battery's unplugged and the thing's working. Oh, wait a minute, what the heck? Does this thing have a battery inside it? I'll bet it does. I'll bet this thing has a battery inside. Format disk. Yes. Yes. I'm assuming, I don't know what this C manual for troubleshooting thing means, but clearly it's not working. Maybe we go to a default setup. Yes. C manual for troubleshooting. Well, could it be that it doesn't function without the scope attached? Let's have a look at that. I mean, this thing supposedly doesn't work, but it seems to be working to me. See manual for troubleshooting. Okay. Folder, no file, back. See manual for troubleshooting. Alright, so we obviously have a problem. I don't think it sees the camera that is being attached or something. I think that's maybe what it's complaining about. So it's kind of strange though. You don't think that it has to have the battery in order to turn the camera on, because I mean there's not much battery probably in here, I wouldn't think. Maybe it's a case where the battery runs the inspection camera and all the LEDs and all that, maybe. So maybe we need to get the battery working in order to make it work, possibly. I don't know. Let's explore that possibility a second. Let's power it off and let's see about the battery. Maybe it's just as simple as that. Let's start by taking this battery apart. We'll use the very coolest screwdriver set that I've ever seen. I basically just want to measure the cells and see if maybe we've just got one that's really dead, or maybe they just need to be balanced, or something like that. I don't know. Well, that doesn't look good. Look at that. There's all kinds of corrosion right there. Oh, yep. That's a problem. Those batteries are done, I think. Let's see if we have any voltage at all on them. .2 millivolts, 32 millivolts, about 20 millivolts. So I'm going to say no, we don't. What if we put this pack in the charger? Then what do we have? Pretty much nothing still. Alright, so do we have two problems here? Do we have a problem with the charger and a problem with the batteries? I don't know. But usually, don't these chargers have a flashing light as soon as you plug them in? I think they do. Well, not knowing exactly what this charger is supposed to do, I'm basing a lot on the assumption that this LED should come on when the thing's plugged in. That's the way my other Dewalt chargers function, but then again, this one's a little older, so maybe it doesn't do anything at all until you plug a battery in. It could very well be that this battery pack is dead enough that it doesn't have enough voltage to let the charger see it and then kick on the charging circuit. So that's what we're going to go with. I dug in my little stash and I found 3 batteries that I harvested from something else. I want to check the voltages on these and make sure that they're, 3.7, 3.8, something like that. I think what we should do is just quickly put these batteries in this pack, and we'll plug it in and just see what happens. I mean, worst case scenario, all we've got in it's just a few minutes of time. So first thing is first. Let's check these batteries and see what they have in them. Okay, that one's 4.1. 4.1. 4.1. Well, that's pretty good, considering these batteries have been laying in my drawer now for, I don't know, probably a year. They definitely haven't been charged. So the first thing we want to do is get these cells out of here. And the way I'm going to do this is probably not the most recommended way. But these batteries, I've already, we looked at them and they had just, basically they were completely flat. So I'm just going to try to pop these off. You got to be careful with these batteries because if you see this line right here, this is all the ground plane, and this center is the positive, and you'll see this one has a little sticker around it. It's possible to put something across this and short this battery out, so you got to kind of be careful with them. But there again, these are dead, so I'm really not that worried about it, to be honest. Some of these aren't even really attached very well anymore. The idea I'm going to try to do here is just get my screwdriver under the edge of it and just work up the spot welds. Try to be really careful with it, and we'll just re-spot weld them back. If we're able to get them apart, that is. Probably should have gloves on doing this, but here we are. Pull this out of the way. There we go. This is the part where the screwdriver slips and goes through my hand. Alright, there's that end. You know, I wonder if it would be better for me to just, I think I have some tabs. I wonder if I shouldn't just, no, probably not. I probably should just try to keep these tabs if I can. I'm going to try to keep it in the pack too, if at all possible. We'll try to reuse what we can of it. That was by far the worst one. Usually if you just barely get under there and just do a really light rocking motion with the screwdriver, it will it'll break that spot weld. Most of the time the spot welds aren't very robust. Now I'll just try to take these needle nose pliers and straighten up my mangled mess a little bit. I have more of these tabs if I need them. They're just not exactly like this, but they work in a pinch. Big thing is going to be this one right here. The rest of these look okay. The only one we have to really worry about is going to be this one. So let me try to clean some of this corrosion off here. We'll start putting batteries back in it. So I've made an executive decision here. I think I'm going to replace this strip and this strip. I'll need to leave these because these go up and, you know, they're kind of, without hammering out any piece of sheet metal. We'll work to put these back on the best way we can, but I think for these, I think our best option is to try and just remove them, and we'll just resolder new ones on. One of the problems I'm going to have here is these batteries. They still have the where I pulled them out of the old battery pack that they were in, where I harvested them. One of the issues I'm going to have is that they going to be hard to make them. It's going to be hard to make them lay down in order to spot weld them, I'm afraid, but I think we can do it. Yeah, I think that'll work. It may be a little bit ugly, but I think it'll work. The trick is going to be holding all of this stuff up here while we while we do the work. Looks okay. I think that'll work. As for this side, I'm just not really sure what the option here is, but maybe there and maybe here. Yes, indeed. Excellent. Okay. What about our next battery? They're marked on here which side is plus and which side's minus. So the plus side goes here in this case. Hopefully we can orient it well enough that we get a good contact on it. That looks okay. And then for this side, we'll stick a tie strip on there. Actually, I have a little bit of a heartburn with the way this one right here is. I don't really like the fact that it's so close to everything, but we'll see. And for this side, we'll go like maybe right here and right there, maybe possibly another one here, another one right here. There. Okay. And for this one, positive goes to this side, so it orients like this. Gonna really have to pay attention to this side because it's gonna be really tough because I don't have a whole lot to weld to there. So I think I'll put this side in first, possibly. Yep. I would really like to get another spot weld on this one right here if I can. Let's try. Maybe here, there. Yeah, that works. And then the only thing we have to worry about at this point is this one. Now, I know it's really ugly. Where's my pointing stick? I've lost my pointing stick. I can't point. Ah, there we go. Found it. On this one, I know it's really ugly on this side, but on the other side, it's actually, I got it cleaned up. I sprayed it with deoxit and did some cleanup, so hopefully it will actually stick here. I don't know. Look, how about it can't even get enough continuity to, ooh. It can't even get enough continuity on this side to conduct. I cleaned the other side, but I didn't really clean this side very well. So maybe I should have thought about that. Let's try that and see if that will spot weld or not. I know it'll go there. Believe it or not, I think it actually welded. That was ugly, but I think it actually did what I wanted it to do. Alright, let's take a voltage measurement here. We should be measuring here and here. 12.3 volts, that's what it should be. Let's resolder these wires back and see if we're in business or not. I have to clean some solder off this wire before it will fit through that hole. That should do it. There we go. Yep, my soldering tip is in bad shape. Alright, that shows to be a 12 volt battery pack. I'm going to get this mess cleaned up, everything put away, and we'll bring the charger back out and see what we've got. Had some fitment issues with this top, so since I was having trouble making this this terminal stick to the battery, I went ahead and laid over another strip and soldered it to that strip, and then spot welded that strip to the battery. So that should, I'm going to double check and make sure we still really have 12 volts on it. Yeah, 12.3. Alright. So now, hopefully we won't have fitment issues with it. The problem was it wouldn't go all the way back together, but it seems to go together now. Alright. Battery charger. Oh, you know what? I did get a single flash out of it when I plugged it up. I've never noticed that before. What do we get here? Is it going to blow up and kill us? Oh, look, I got a few slow flashes, which indicates pack charging, and now I've got a constant light, which indicates pack charged. Well, they had 4.3 or 12.3 volts in it, so what happens when we put it back in the scope? There's that. Well, that's interesting. I did get still C manual for troubleshooting. Sure would be handy if it gave us some kind of an error or something. You know what? This right here, that doesn't look right, does it? It's got threads exposed right there. Do we need to try to pull this off? I wonder if, did our camera, let's turn this thing back off. I'm going to unscrew the camera because that almost seems like what it is. It seems like it's trying to maybe initialize the camera and it can't. Let me look up the manual for it and see if I can get some information, but see maybe what this C manual for troubleshooting thing does, because when I turn it on here, I get the same thing that I get even when the camera is not plugged into it. So that leads me to believe that the camera itself, or this part, has a problem. All right, let me go do some research real quick. I'll be back. Well, I had a look at the manual and it's basically no help whatsoever. the troubleshooting that it lists is basically ridiculous. So I don't know what the issue is with it, but oh, okay. You know what? I don't think I had it pushed in. So when you plug this thing in, you can plug it in and you can screw it down, but if you push hard, there's another click. I didn't feel that click before. Let's see what it does now. Same thing. Same thing. Strange though that it works without the battery in it, so there must be a battery behind here that does something. I don't know. Wait. We've got a picture. Look. Oh. Is it legit that easy? Holy crap. You got to be kidding me. Maybe in the manual I should have looked at operation, because there's a roller wheel right here. And that turns the camera on and adjusts the LED brightness. Look at that. Luke, I am your father. Okay, well. So it's really fixed just that easy? What if we record something? How do we do that? This right here is loose. Uh-oh. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Look at that. All right, now that is cool. I don't care who you are. That is cool. So this is wireless, and the battery is completely spanked, but this is a wireless display. You can pop it off and have your opponent hold it while you inspect things. Dang, this is cool. Huh. Yeah, like I said, maybe I should have read the manual, but I was too sure it didn't work. So will it record? How do we do that? How do we record something? The record button, I'll bet. Record. Okay, it's recording. We'll record its battery charger. Battery charger. We can look inside the land of the lost behind the boxes too. Turn some lights on. Oops. Oh, there we go. Okay, well, guess what? That fixed it. I can't believe it, but that fixed it. So really the only problem I think that it had was the battery pack was just junk. But that works extremely well. Okay, so I guess that wraps up this video, guys. I appreciate you watching, and if you haven't already, take a second to like the video and maybe give me some comments and subscribe. That's really what helps build small channels like mine. As usual, until next time, guys, thanks for watching.